This conference will now be recorded.
The town board will hold a public meeting beginning at 7 PM on Monday, August 7th, 2023 at the town hall at 4058 County Road N. You can also join the meeting by GoToMeeting. The meeting was posted at the town hall and on the website. We have a quorum present. I'll call the meeting to order. We'll stand for the flag pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have the minutes of the July 26th meeting in your pack.
I would move approval with one tiny word change. In item 2, those present, it's town planner marked. It's identified as the town planner in the body of it, but up here it says engineer. Very small.
Second.
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay to approve minutes with the one correction to Mark Roppels not being the town engineer, but the planner. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Finance report and approval of bills.
Not too thick today. I move approval of checks 36,489 through 36,515. Be paid and EFT payments of $23,711.19. Be paid.
Motion by Duplay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Fonger to approve checks 36,489 through 36,515 and the EFT payments of $23,711.19. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You have the June per diems. July. Not June. It'd be July.
Move to approve as presented.
Motion by Anders, second by Duplay to approve the July per diems as presented. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You also have the unaudited cash and investment balance of $2,090,992.55 in your packet, along with the credit card charges. Anything else for finance? Next item is public concerns. Public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that's not a specific agenda item. Anyone online?
You're not speaking up.
All right. Moving on.
Would that be pertaining to us?
No, it's first agenda.
Okay.
It's the first agenda item. Next item is Plan Commission's recommendation. Thomas Matthew, Robin Carley, petitioners, Raymond Tenbrusco and Margaret Newton, landowners, parcel 0711-052-2228-3 at 2842 Gaston Road, requesting removal of deed restriction prohibiting manufacturing without authorization of the town. You have the minutes from the Plan Commission meeting in your packet. Questions from the board?
Let's take a picture of
My questions, if you have any.
Why is this guy getting another chance? Haven't we already told him that he's got to finish the sides on his house?
No,
No.
This is Plan
This
Commission.
is the plan commission recommendation.
I know that, but I mean, why wasn't that taken into consideration?
As far as what?
Good point. This is just to remove the,
This is a potential buyer.
I know that, and I understand that, but I've also talked to some of the neighbors. And I don't think they would have a problem as much with everything if that house was restored somewhat. I mean, my God, they've still got the piles of junk out there. They've still got the piles of brush. The lawn isn't gonna be mowed. I mean, is he gonna be taking care of all that stuff? I just don't wanna run into another house like we have on BB.
Well, part of the thing is, I'll go out on a limb and say yes. That I'm sure cosmetically, he's going to do the yard work, as you said. But if he weren't here looking to get the one word removed off of that deed restriction, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. The house sale would go through and whatever happened would happen. Okay? This is not contingent of a real estate sale.
that restriction was put on the plat back in '76.
I know, which was like the year I graduated high school.
Yeah.
So I can't be blamed for that.
Yeah, I don't know why it was ever on the plat. That's where it was.
Like presumably we're trying to do is put the piece of property in with somebody that will take care of it.
Yeah.
Seems to me, Dr. Ellery, he believes the guy is gonna do good there and clean up the property.
Well, and he's heard,
Make
I
sense,
think,
who wouldn't?
from the Plan Commission and now from the board too, that we're looking for the house and the property to be maintained.
Correct.
To look presentable.
These are, in actuality too, we know what Ray's attitude was toward everything.
Yeah.
Okay, looking at it from Tom's perspective, we as the town board and the town have a 50-50 chance of that house being improved upon, whereas with Ray still owning it, we had a 0 chance. So we've at a minimum increased our odds by 50% of Tom doing something. And as you said, I don't know if it was Chris or if it was you, Mike, there was a case of Tom has heard what the people wanted to see and their concerns about the house and the property and the junk and, all that related stuff.
I just want to make sure that that's noted.
And we have to rely on Tom's word that he will do that.
Could I just ask if the owners would say, for this meeting, I have it in the minutes, thanks to our office staff, what the plan is for this property, but could you state it for anyone who's listening and for me, what is planned for this property?
So what is planned for the property is for me to initially get my business up and running on the property in the current building. That's the outbuilding that's there. It's about 1,000 square foot building. And then to grow into a bigger building, build a new building on the
So
property.
you take the old one down?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't done a full site plan on it yet. And then the house, I'm going to look into as far as if it should be refurbished or if it should be taken down. I haven't crunched all the numbers yet on what it would take to keep the house there. I will keep it in compliance as long as it stands or improve it.
Are you planning on living in the house?
Not initially, no. I will be using the house for an office because the shop is this.
That may be a problem if you want to use it for an office, because that comes commercial then.
You probably will have to convert it to commercial use, if I'm understanding things right, which you'll have to use the commercial zoning code for it.
Yeah, the zoning code, yes, for the structure.
Building code.
Building code, I should say.
Yes.
So the building had to be improved.
Yes.
So it'd be better
Which
to
we
leave
had
the
4 years
house.
ago.
Well, not the commercial code.
No. One thing, you guys are coming in new. You guys are coming into a horrible thing right now. You are. I don't mean horrible thing. I don't mean you wanting to be there is a horrible thing. And this might work out great, but you don't know what some of the neighbors have been through. I've been here 25 years. Some of these people have been here almost twice as long as me. And that house has looked like that for that long. And raccoons, watching raccoons crawl ladders on the side of the house into the attic. Have you been in the house?
Yes, I have.
Have you seen the attic? Have you seen the basement?
Yes, I've seen the house.
Wow.
And all of that stuff was not in my control. So I understand your concerns and what we've gone through about the house.
But we keep hearing, we're just gonna need to trust. I mean, obviously, Mr. Anders is full for this, but he does not live across the street like Gordy.
I used to live 2 blocks down the road for 20 years, so I know exactly what you're saying.
But it's not the same as looking out your picture window and looking at it day after day after day. And when they came to the board, they had a lot of excuses of why nothing had been done, though he's a woodworker to the house for 35 years. Nothing, no paint, nothing. Window goes out, we'll put foam core over that. We'll insulate over it. This one's cracked, we'll tape it and then put a blanket over it. For years, for decades. And now someone's gonna buy it. I can't believe you would wanna put a business there and leave the house the way it is. And why would you wanna bring the house to code on the land of your, it just seems weird to me. It just, I don't know. I wouldn't have a problem if you built a 10,000 foot square shop and bulldoze the house. I don't care. Paint it, do something immediately. It's been sitting like this for so long. Neighbors even helped them with the corner after we came to the town about it. And back then, then another car appeared, then another car appeared. It's one thing after another. And if you're telling now we have to trust a man we've never met before, we're kind of tired of trust. We trusted Ray and Margie. If they didn't give a shit about it.
Can I get your name for the record?
Tom Gritzmacher. And I did sign the sheet. I'm not within 300 feet. I live down the street.
No, we don't want it to burn. If it burns, it's gonna smell like
No,
ashes forever.
Yes, sir.
My name's Robin Carley. I am Tom's father-in-law, but also business partner at the moment. In respect for the current owners, and I know that Ray has done a lot of work on the house. It's incomplete, as you well know, but still, he's done a lot of work on the house. In respect for him, the discussion about tearing down the house is not going to happen tonight. It's something that is a potential, and I'm sure he knows its potential. And in all honesty, in due respect, we are going to evaluate the condition of the house and see if it is worthwhile to restore the house as he had seen fit, but not accomplished. And so that is going to happen before we decide anything else about the house. But we are strictly talking about the deed restriction tonight, so that the property can be transferred. That's all.
Can this relaxing of the deed restriction be non-transferable? So if Tom and Robin want to sell this property to the next person down the road, they have an automatic manufacturing site that they can purchase. Can we grant them the permission for manufacturing But if it's resold, it has to be reevaluated by the board.
But you saw our problem was all along with trying to define what manufacturing
right.
is.
Can anybody on the board tell us exactly?
Quiet, please. You know, we looked at the dictionary and not everybody agreed with what the dictionary said manufacturing was, so
It got a little irate there, the conversation.
yeah, it was hard to define it, and the county doesn't define it. And got put on the plat. Now we have to deal with what is manufacturing.
True.
And what are you gonna do there?
Well, I do custom metal work.
Fabrication,
And where's your shop now?
612 North Main.
old Chase building.
Okay.
And I understand you keep everything inside.
Yes.
Kind of.
And the motion by the, was to remove the word manufacturing.
About the
Yes.
noise.
Just from lot 28.
28.
Lot 29 in north of it also has that restriction on it. We're only going to remove it from lot 28.
Some snowmobile parts he's making for a guy.
Mhm.
This is a
I had read it.
motorcycle cylinder head that he's making some exhaust headers. And then.
That
when I
building,
was-
the building back behind that you're talking about, they did put a garage door on there, as I remember, and they didn't clean it up.
Yeah,
So
he-
you cited it.
yeah, he
they
recently
did.
sided it.
They did.
And put a roof on it, I believe, in
Yeah.
2020.
So there was a piece of junk. It had been, basically.
The building, yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Ray had built the building in 88.
Mhm.
And,
The
It just
building
went
is
down-
there.
It just went down from there, though.
yeah, I'm unsure of the condition,
Yeah,
beyond,
what you see right
3
now,
months ago.
right?
So,
And one of the things you'll have to be concerned about is if you leave the house in the outbuilding and you build another building, is how much lot coverage you can have
mhm.
with the county. Yes, ma'am.
Is there any restrictions on the noise level? I mean, working in manufacturing, there's always noise. And for the neighbors living close by, that might be very annoying.
Is there somebody that lives right next to him that would complain about it right now?
She's not here.
He's not here
No.
tonight.
Well, but I'm just saying, they're not here.
He's right across the street. Where are you?
Tom's
You're
across
right
the street.
across the street.
Right across from.
But the town does have a nuisance ordinance if
Yeah.
you have an extended level of annoyance.
Noise.
Then you can come here and shed a tear and then go home crying, because there's nothing really happening. There's no real balance of, getting satisfied or getting comfort as far as an annoyance. There's no penalty to pay.
Well, that's not really true anymore, is it? I mean, with not cutting the grass and growing so high, didn't we just do something about that to make sure that people
Yep. Right,
do keep up their property?
yes.
So it's writing them a letter and saying, mow your grass, or
No, there's a penalty. Mine.
there's a fine? Okay, I didn't realize that.
Or the town can go in and mow it and charge them back for it.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. Thank you.
And that's within 10 days.
They get 10 days to take care of it, or else the town can go in and do that.
Sure.
How high does the grass have to be before you guys do that?
6 inches.
6 inches.
Better check it.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
It's complaint driven. We're not running around town measuring everybody's
No.
grass. So if you want to make a complaint, that would be the start of that.
Then we send somebody out there to look at it. And if it's not within compliance, then they get a letter, or they get something put on their door or whatever right away and say, you better do it, or you're gonna be fined. So that's recently we did this, so.
Is there anybody online that wishes to comment?
They're all muted. There is one on the phone that I muted because it was making no noise. Let me unmute that person.
Oh, Nikki Durst.
Anybody online have anything to say?
Not on this topic.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the thing that most people are looking at is cleaning up the house on the outside.
The curb
What do you
appeal
think
is
about it?
terrible.
Right.
Yes, I understand.
We've talked to them so many times about this, not recently, but
Exactly.
I think some people gave up a little bit if they were ever gonna do it.
I think more so than that, my name is Dan Mungovan. I think more so than that is that the property, thinking about a shop coming in, is gonna depreciate the value of our homes when somebody comes in the neighborhood, look at our homes. What they said the last time was that we didn't read the fine print. It's
our fault.
it's our fault that we didn't look at that.
The
When
commercial
there
zone.
was a home there, it wasn't a commercial lot to us. I wouldn't think
Yeah.
about checking the neighbors' houses out. I saw my house that I bought and I never thought about the other neighbors. What concerns me more than that is Tom does beautiful work. We saw some of his
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
And it's not that Tom's gonna, build this massive shop and depreciate our house, but it's the fact that what happens if we're all adults? What happens if he gets divorced? Father-in-law says it's mine and now we're gonna put this on it. I mean, there's a million scenarios that could change everything in our neighborhood.
Have you looked at the permitted uses for general commercial so that you know what that's limited to, though?
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
And we know that we talked about what if they put it, what if you can't put an apartment building there. You can't put, so it's commercial rated, but it doesn't mean that we would come with chainsaws and open arms for Tom if he would change it to a residential neighborhood. They used our shops as, you could have a shop like these guys, Charlie works on lawnmowers, Wade does this, you could have a shop like theirs, but that's not the point. The point is if we would welcome him with open arms if he changed it from commercial to residential and make it a normal neighborhood instead of, then build a nice shop and live, work and
He
play.
doesn't buy it. Somebody else could come in and do a commercial use, and as long as it wasn't anywhere near manufacturing, you wouldn't know anything about it until it went up.
Right.
So I was just curious if you're concerned about what the next buyer might do. If you have looked at the permitted uses of general commercial and which ones of those you would be worried that it could turn into. Because like that general commercial has no outdoor storage. It has, it's not, it might not
It's
be.
already zoned that, so we never see it again.
Right, so it might not be what you are worried about if you haven't looked at what is allowed under general commercial zoning, but
I guess, can I chime in on that?
I'm just, ask him.
I guess my concern is, similar to everybody else's, what happens next? We've been talking about this, it's already zoned commercial, right? We're talking about, removing a deed restriction. What does that open up for the future? You guys can't even define manufacturing. I think we're spending a lot of time talking about something that's not defined.
Yeah.
And I think Dane County probably does have a definition of it.
No, they don't.
No, it's theirs.
Even when it was, when it was under C1, a permitted use was manufacturing. And even with a permitted use being manufacturing, they still didn't give a definition. I have the whole zoning ordinance paperwork from when that zoning district was used, no definition. The current one, no definition.
Well, I feel like it needs to be defined.
There
needs to be what? Sorry, defined.
There is now a manufacturing zoning district, and manufacturing is not a permitted use in general commercial.
GC.
So
The deed restriction is outdated, just as the zoning was when everything was blanket rezoned in 2019. The deed restriction should have went then, but obviously it didn't.
It's a damn sure. Update our vocabulary.
because there is another manufacturing and industrial zoning district, and the definition of that is The manufacturing and industrial zoning district is intended to accommodate industrial processing and extractive uses where primary activity occurs either indoors or outdoors. Uses are intensive and at a relatively high densities and may produce a high volume of employee and freight traffic. Uses require separation from residential uses. Uses may require a full urban services or create intensive electrical, water, or other utility demand, and uses are appropriate to an urbanized or industrial area. That is a separate zoning that this parcel doesn't have. That's what manufacturing is. And so this one is zone general commercial. It really doesn't have manufacturing as a permitted use. It's just that it's got that deed restriction.
Calls it manufacturing from the plat.
Yeah.
I blame Gene's score. Oh, God rest your soul, Gene.
Well, you don't see any way that you would believe that the property is not going to be better than what it was.
We're just worried about the
We
future.
said we got a 50-50 chance. We had a 50-50 last time. We lost.
I'm concerned about. They did clean up a lot of stuff there.
Pardon?
They did clean up a lot of stuff there at that time.
Initially,
Yes, yeah.
initially, and then it became holes in the ground and piles of dirt and orange snow fence that was up for like 3.5 years, right
Yeah.
next to the house. More junk collected, then hauled away, then back again, more cars that didn't ran.
Yeah,
This is
I
all since
totally
the
agree with you that they,
It's like, we're not gonna
Didn't
run to
seem
the
to
town
care about
board
the
every
property.
6 months and go, he hasn't done anything yet, and it's a lot of work done
I
on the
think
house.
they've decided that they're gonna sell, that's it, and they ain't gonna do anything more.
I believe Tom is a whole different person than
Yeah.
Lieutenant Brusso.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Tom, our neighborhood's got big heart. And I think for a case of beer, we'd all get our paintbrushes out there. I'm serious. And with a little scissors lift and get up there and dress that place up. We got chainsaws them up. When things happen in our neighborhood, we come together. We've got a good core group in our neighborhood. A lot of heart.
But it's never been that, see, on that property, really, you know.
No.
No, was that one weekend when we cleaned up the right of way, the sight line for the road?
Yeah.
So my point again, it's, you know, do you think it is going to be not better if these guys got it?
I think would be definitely better. My concern is transfer to the next person. If we could have a non-transferred removal of the deed restriction of manufacturing.
But the zoning protects it.
Yeah. It's already got the GC zoning.
Okay, so that's not a real
That's
flare to worry
not on
about.
the table for us to talk about. It's just that word manufacturing. It's
Okay,
on the plat.
I'd like him as a neighbor.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a quick comment. Thomas Hayner, 2852 Buston Road. Only thing I'm concerned about at the moment is hopefully, since you say your nozzle about commercial zoning stuff, sure would like to see that screening requirement enforced as far as the evergreens, the fencing. Never happened. Besides that, I think I kind of see how the town board wants to deal with that. Yeah, that's fine. I'd like to draw the attention of the town board that when we were at the planning commission's hearing, I didn't really care for the condescending lecturing that we got from a couple of members, especially questioning our competence about we should have known better. I didn't appreciate that. If you doubt what I'm saying, watch the video. You'll see a couple of people I talked about who were condescending, lecturing, questioning our competence. And I think a couple of people, maybe 2 or 3, probably had their minds made up from the get-go. I don't know if that was because I'm sure the gentlemen have talked to a few people, and I wouldn't call that, you know, a big deal, but seems like they had their mind made up and they wanted to go watch, you know, Naked and Afraid or something. They wanted to get the hell out of here and didn't want to deal with us. But I was more concerned about how my neighbors and myself were treated. Like I said, watch the video and you'll see this condescending, lecturing, questioning our competence. I didn't care for it, and I wish it'd be addressed by the chairman of the planning commission next time before they meet. I thank you for your attention.
Did you say your word screening at first? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I've got the county's zoning book, right? Yeah, commercial properties have to be screened properly. Either need
Fencing?
fencing or evergreens. Hey, never had, I mean, back then, Palaholda was the next meeting. Now it's a lot better. Guys planted trees, flowers, bad houses, great. No, none of this shit, midnight racing car engines. It's great. But it got a fence up finally. Well, I paid for all the screening slats that went into that. And I have grown stuff, try to screen that myself. But the whole perimeter is supposed to be screened, one way or another. I think you do your homework, you'll find that out, unless it's changed from the last edition of the county zoning book I've got.
Well, it's important that you people, like anytime, if you got a problem, you come and voice your opinion, period. That's what this whole town is about. And it's made an impact when we do have a lot of people at meetings. And this is a unique one. You know, it seems like every time you deal with that piece of property, there's another stupid thing that comes up. And it's just too bad they've been allowed to have their house that they paid for that sits there, and they never had the inkling to make things look good for their own sake. That's the thing that kills me about that property. I just don't get it.
No pride in ownership.
No,
Right.
and it's not like they're poor, you know.
Anything else?
Let's go. Plan Commission's recommendation.
Motion by Anders, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Williams to approve the Plan Commission's recommendation to remove the word manufacturing from lot 28 from the plat that was signed in 1976. It would remain on lot 29. Any discussion on that motion?
I thought that was done last meeting.
That was the Plan Commission. So the town board's is the final
They
action.
recommend.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carried 4-1. Thank you, one and all. Next item is update on the raised order for house at 2983 County Road, PB.
Tom, Robin, as I said, we got a neighbor with a big heart. We want to see that.
Jim had been trying to work with his
Yes, with the
owner.
neighbor, or the property.
Making progress.
We got big
I understand.
Okay, we're having a meeting.
Oh.
Yep.
When are you taking
Very
over?
much stuck, yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Continue.
I'm here.
So, the owner did apply for a raised permit, did not pay for it or pick it up. And did not respond to several attempts.
Thank you. I was here. Told me to come to the meeting. I'm here.
So what's happening?
So what's happening? We had an offer on the house. That deal fell through. We're getting, we have a sign up now out there. My realtor's getting a lot of interest. So we're trying to sell the house. And we're hoping it'll be sold in the next month. I've contacted quite a few people to help me raise the house. A lot of people are busy. So I'm trying to get people nailed down for it.
You guys will notice right away.
That's not good enough.
Why not?
Because you've been doing this for
We told you
years.
Over a month ago that we wanted something done by the end of July.
Okay, so I'm trying to weigh my options, okay?
You don't have any options.
What do you mean I don't have any options? It's my house.
You were told by us.
It's
Go
my
ahead and
house.
raise.
You guys forget one thing, it's my house. Okay, why do we have to raise the house? I was under the impression that I had to raise the house. You guys are telling me that I have to raise the house. Why do I have to raise the house?
We haven't done anything to improve the property. It is still an eyesore. There's still vermin living in it. The doors are open to let any and all manners of things
But you guys
inside.
said it wasn't able to be refurbished. Where did that come from?
The building inspector is,
No, you didn't.
he is going to be contacting you. He was-
He's never had permission to go into the house, so I don't know how that he would
has
ever
been
even.
directed as of last week that he should proceed with a raise order. So you
Why?
can- Because that's what the town board wanted.
No, the town board told me I had till today to come in here and talk about it. That I talked to Chris, we talked to Chris on the phone. So the fact that you would go any further without talking,
And what are you doing? You
I'm
haven't
telling you what I'm
sold it,
doing.
And you're not raising it.
What's that?
Give me a date that's gonna come down or the date that's gonna be sold.
Well, we're working on selling it. Well, I mean, it's a process. What do you guys expect?
How many times have you come up with this stuff over the
What do
last
you
2
mean, how
years?
many times?
You had 20 different stories.
And you know what? It sounds like you got a lot bigger problems than my property. I
No.
mean,
That is not a problem at
oh,
all.
my property isn't really a problem either.
Yes, it is.
Have you
Why?
you mowed
That-
it once
okay,
this year?
okay, so-
Have you mowed it twice?
So,
Have you mowed it a second time?
yes, I have actually. I took a whole week to clean out all that stuff that's in there.
That's the first time. Have you mowed it a second
I
time?
haven't yet, no. Well, is mowing our biggest problem here?
Well, you aren't taking care of the property to begin with.
Why aren't you maintaining the property?
Why not? I kind of explained this before. It's my busy season. I haven't had time
What
to,
about last year and the winter and the fall?
I told you guys, I
You
built a
had
house.
every chance in the world to do what you.
Why don't you
sell it.
buy the property? You
Sell it or
said
whatever.
You want it gone so bad. Why don't, I mean, you guys, here's what I don't understand is you guys live in glass houses? I mean, you shouldn't be throwing.
Why would you ever let that house to get the way it is?
All these people are complaining and not allowing somebody to do what they want to do.
Did they look unhappy when they left?
Regardless, they're throwing stones. I'm sure you could go to every one of these people's. I look around Cottage Grove. You could be picking on everybody if you wanted to. I'm trying to do something with the
How
property.
many
Listen,
vacant,
okay, listen.
dilapidated houses are there?
We're
Did you find
trying to
in
get it in the
Cottage Grove?
hands of somebody else so they can do something with it.
Why didn't you do this a year ago?
I couldn't. I told you.
Maloney, why couldn't you have contacted Nick, whom you listed, Nick Conrad from Conrad Developments, people who have the sign out in front of your yard? Why didn't you contact him a year ago?
I don't know. I've been trying to do something with the house. I told you.
What have you done? Like I said, we've seen no visible progress with the house except for when we threaten you with legal action.
We've been trying to move forward. We talked to Chris. I told Chris we had a guy that wanted to buy it. The deal fell through. He talked to
I told
me.
you on this, that you had to come here tonight and tell us what was going to happen and when.
And that's why,
And can you tell me what's going to happen and when?
yeah, the house is gonna get sold.
When?
I mean, if you're selling your house and
No,
I ask you a
When we
date to when,
talked, you had a person that needed 15 days
that's
to
right,
determine if it was salvageable or not.
that's right.
And I assume he told you it's not.
No, he didn't say it. He just,
Then why didn't he buy it?
because he wanted to give me $40,000 for the house. I'm not taking $40,000 for the house. The property's worth more than that. So my realtor, it is. Well, say what you can roll your eyes all you want, Would you like to have somebody give an appraisal on it? I mean,
Do you have an appraisal on it?
I could probably get one. Do I need one?
Nope, you need to do something with it.
I'm working on doing something with it. I told you that the realtor, the sign's out there. Have you seen there's a sign out there now? So we are doing something with it.
And when did the sign go up?
The sign went out last week and she's already had 11 showings and she has people that are interested. She also have people that said that it can be refurbished, which you guys told me basically it couldn't be refurbished.
You're the construction guy. You're supposed to
I'm
know
not a
this stuff.
construction guy. I'm a
What are you?
painter. I'm a painter.
And you don't know anything about houses?
Do I need to know anything?
Well, you should know it. You own it.
It's my house. I can do whatever I want with it.
Oh, that's not true.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm not a construction guy. I'm a painter.
Well, you know a lot of
You know
people
what?
that are in construction, aren't you?
I know people. That's what I'm trying to.
You do. I'll be damned.
What's that? What does that have to do with it?
Well, okay,
Okay.
what does the town board want to do? Do we want to wait or do we want to proceed with?
So raise order?
I say we proceed.
So you guys are gonna spend my money raising my house and then pay, and just go hire whoever you feel like it to do the job? When it, you know,
And charge it right back.
well, you know what? Then I'm gonna go get my lawyer and then we can
That's
fight,
fine. You
we
can do
can
what you
fight
want.
that way.
Spend the money.
We'll go right ahead.
Okay, well, I mean,
Mhm.
Our attorney's name is.
it's really
William
nice
Cole.
for you guys to just be able to tell me what to do with my property.
We tried to be nice for 2 years.
Yes, sir, we have tried.
And you know
We
it.
have
And I
listened
told
to
you, the house is gonna sell.
And how, why didn't you do that a year ago?
I
as
tried to
Mr.
explain it.
Fongler said? No.
I moved to Wanakee, I built a house, I have a kid with seizures, I have 4 children. You know what? You got,
Telephone call, the same telephone call you made to Nick Conrad now, you couldn't have made a year ago? I don't believe that.
okay, well, I mean, I think we've been making progress.
We
No.
don't think you've been making progress, and that's where we differ. It's, as Mr. Fonger and Mr. Anders said, if you had made the call before, that would have been progress. Doing it now after you have.
We
heard
are,
from
we're
us-
selling the house. The house will be sold. I guarantee the house will be sold in the next month.
You've been guaranteeing a lot of stuff.
It's
for
a,
2
it's the
years.
first time we had a sign out there, okay? You know how much traffic? You're telling me that house isn't gonna sell?
Probably.
So do you have a recommendation? If you guys can actually have somebody raise the house, who are you gonna get to raise the house?
This is August 7th. August 28th is 3 weeks. Either it's sold or raised.
By the
Well-
28th?
Well, so
Yeah,
the
we don't meet
process
on
is gonna be that I mean, there's a process for a raise order to
Yeah.
be gone through. And
Okay.
the building inspector does have to make a determination that the cost to repair it is more than 50% of the value of the house or whatever it is. And then there would be a order to raise, and first it would be in order for him to raise it. He'd have a time frame to do it in, and if he didn't do it in that time frame, then is when the town would do it.
All I would like to do is allow for the sale of the house and then give me a fair time frame in the fall to raise the house. I mean, everybody, I've contacted a number of people. They're very busy. It's hard to get people in the summer to do this.
Why not last summer or the summer?
I can't change the past, dude. I cannot change the.
I'm not a dude, okay?
Okay, what, Steve? I can't change, let's move forward. Let's quit living in the past and let's move forward. I'm trying to sell the house. I need time to raise the house. I did, you know.
Wait a minute, now you keep saying you're raising the house, but you're selling the house.
Well,
What
I'm
what are you
trying
doing?
to, I have to wait, I have to try to sell the house. That's the best option for me and it's the best option for
So
you.
which,
First day of autumn.
If I sell the house to somebody else, we could put it in the hands of somebody that that
18th.
does whatever they do.
do it.
Huh?
Would probably raise it then.
I don't, that's not true. You know how many, there's been 4 or 5 people that said that they can they can put money and refurbish that.
Have they given you any money down on it yet?
Have they given me any money down for?
Said they're gonna buy it?
No, I have, there's been 11 showings since Thursday, since the sign went up. There's been 11 showings. There's been a lot of showings on it. There's interest in it. My realtor, I just got off the phone with her before I came here. She said, Mike, I'm sure the house will sell. She's
Oh,
like,
that's what realtors say.
well, I mean, you know,
That's their job.
I mean, you know, come on, guys, like,
So the question back to the board is, do you want us to proceed down our path for the raise order and
Yes.
demolition of the property?
Yes.
As to what we've been advised by council.
And if he sells it and stuff, then that's fine.
It's fine.
I want the opportunity to raise it myself if
So when would that be?
can you give me the fall to do it? I mean, what?
Paul,
It's a process. I mean, so, okay, summer is my busy time. I don't have time to do that stuff. I have to make the money to pay the bills. I have to pay to have this house raised. I don't know what it's gonna cost me, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. I need that money, which I do all my apartments in August, to pay for the raise also. I mean, it just doesn't come out of the air to put money into a money pit. I mean, you guys are gonna go out and
Good point.
charge, huh?
You just said
What's
putting
that?
money into a money pit. You're right.
That's right.
And you don't think anybody's gonna look at it the same way?
No, because if you're an investor, you can't buy property right now. I mean, you know, you can't buy a lot for less, what's the lowest lot in Cottage Grove? $120,000?
For 2 acres?
I doubt you can get 2 acres for 120.
In the town, you might be able to.
I doubt you can get 120, but
That's what they were selling for Kennedy Hills, wasn't it?
Yes. And
Last
they're
one.
3/4 of an acre over there.
Last one's 150.
Okay,
yeah, 150.
all right, but how many square feet have you got? Like 10,000?
I don't know. I got interest from the guy who does the storage units behind, but I don't, and my realtor asked me to ask you guys, I mean, that wouldn't be an option, right? If the guy bought it with the storage units,
If he
Maybe
gets
what?
down the house,
as far as storage units being put there.
we're not talking zoning. We're talking what's going to happen with the house and when.
Give me a month to sell the house. Give me a time to raise the house in the fall if it doesn't sell. That's all I'm asking.
You want to give him till our next meeting might be September 4th?
I'm not gonna
Say we
get,
go ahead with what we're doing, that's gonna take some time. It's not gonna happen in 10
True,
days.
true.
how long is it gonna take to do the process? If you guys go forward and raise it, how long is it gonna take for you guys to do it?
I don't think we know because we're doing,
This
the
is the
building
first time.
inspector that we're working with, it's the first time that he's done that process with us, so we don't have anything to,
Never had a problem before.
Probably 45 days, I would guess.
45 days.
Yeah.
And who would raise the property if it wasn't me? Who?
I think we go out for bids, I think.
yeah, you would have an opportunity. If you didn't do it in the time provided, then the town would get basically a court order that they would need to raise it, and yeah, they'd have to go out for
Then you
bid.
guys would go out and get bids, take the whatever bid you decided on, and I would have to pay them.
Take the highest one, make.
Yeah,
it
I'm
pay
sure you
for it.
probably would.
Yeah,
That would be really nice, because you'd want that done to you, right?
but I think it would be a month
It'd
at
be a month.
least. Yeah, I would say so.
It'd be a month from now.
But we have to
To get
make sure
approval?
now that you're gonna do something.
What's that?
We would go ahead and, like I said, it's probably gonna take a month or more. But we're gonna do it legally, what we're doing, and you've got the time to sell it. Or take it down, whatever.
So you're gonna give me how long to take it down?
We're not gonna give you, we're gonna see how it goes, the
I was
process.
just looking back through the minutes, going all the way back to the first meeting in May, and this has been talked about, and the board has repeatedly said they want the building inspector to do the raise process, and the building inspector frankly hasn't gotten around to it, and now he's finally ready to get to that. That's where we're at, but the board wanted that to happen so that the
Well,
demand.
Is the only option, is my only option is to raise the house if I don't sell it? Is that my only option? Are you telling me I have to raise the house?
Once he goes in and says it's not,
Can you afford to fix it?
Can I afford to fix it? I
Yeah,
mean,
that's the question.
I'm sure I could find a way to fix it if I had to. Like I said, I was under the assumption that went before that I had to raise the house. That's what I thought.
not originally when we started this whole thing 2
No,
years ago.
but as of spring, I
Mhm.
was under the assumption that I didn't have another option because I thought it was considered not, repairable.
The
It's not
raise
boiled over
order.
the way it is.
The raise order process begins with the building inspector making a determination of whether
It's biddable.
whether it's repairable.
But he hasn't made that
He hasn't
decision.
done that yet,
Okay.
but he has been directed to do that soon. He's been directed to do it for a while. He has not done it yet, but as of last week, he said he was
So who's gonna give him permission to go in there and do that?
going to ask you for permission, and if you won't give him permission, then the legal
court.
means will be pursued to get access for that.
Well, I've had, actually surprisingly, I've had people tell me that it is repairable. I didn't think it was. That's why I was trying to get it burnt
And
down.
your first guy told you it wasn't repairable, apparently.
But I've had quite a few people tell me it is, actually. I mean, to be honest.
I make a motion, we proceed with the raise.
Really?
Second.
The raise order process. Yeah. I
Second.
mean, that doesn't mean that
No, I
that
know.
you're going to get a raise order. It means that the building inspector is
I
going to
understand.
evaluate it for that. So, but
We're
that
gonna
will,
start on our end, and that way we're moving forward from our end. If he does something in between times,
great.
that's up to him.
Maybe he'll come in and say, hey, yeah, it can be fixed. We don't know that for
Give
sure.
him a date
I don't think I can.
for.
Well, we gotta get a hold of them and tell him he's gotta go do
To
it.
get it done by.
Jim doesn't do it, Mike does.
And we gotta tell him to go do it.
Well, as of last week, he did say that he was ready to do it, and I guess I should find the email, but how exactly he said it.
I mean, right now, the house isn't, besides the lawn, it's not hurting anybody. I mean, it's sitting there. Why are you guys I mean,
Still have the county sign out front?
what's that?
You still have
No, I
the
got
county-
rid of it. Or no, I think we took that out of there, yeah. I don't know who put that there.
The county sign, what?
That was a county
County.
barricade.
Yeah, I took that out of there.
Oh, yeah, that was different.
So he was told to pursue the raise order, making sure that he complies with section 1109 and 1110 of the town code. And he also, this person, Mike at General Engineering, is the one that does these for general engineering. He's familiar with what state statutes have to be followed and all that. So it's a whole legal process.
I think it's gonna take you guys longer.
And his answer to me was, thank you, I put it on my to-do list and we'll get things going as quickly as possible. This was Thursday, August 3rd. So there's a legal process. It's not gonna happen overnight, but it's gonna be started and there's gonna be an end in sight. And if you can get what you need to get done first, then it can be dropped.
By when?
We don't know.
It doesn't matter.
So you're telling me to give you guys a time frame as of now.
We're telling you.
He's asking me a time frame of when I can get it done, but you can't tell me when it's gonna get done.
You want to do it as soon as you can so that you beat the raise order if that's what you get.
But I don't know when that is.
But
It could be,
He's gonna get a hold of
he's gonna
you.
get a hold of you.
Okay.
he's gonna get a hold of you and.
I mean, why not?
Will you give our building inspector permission to enter the property starting tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock?
Why would I do that if you're trying to do this to me? If you're not giving, why don't you just give me time to take care of the problem?
No, because we've already given you years or months to do something with it.
Besides the lawn, there's nothing wrong with the house. I mean, as far as,
How many houses have the back door standing open for the last, I don't know, 8, 10 months?
I don't know.
All right. And I believe, somebody correct me if my memory is incorrect, but didn't, when the deputies went and inspected there was evidence of
Water in the
vermin
basement.
living in the house
There isn't.
And water in the
I've been
basement.
in there.
and water in the basement?
It hasn't rained in I don't know how long, so there's no water in the basement.
Oh, there was when the deputy was there.
All I'm asking is if you can give me,
We're not
Get
gonna,
going today.
what's that?
Get
I
going
am-
today.
I am. I have the sign
We're
up.
going to proceed. I have a motion to proceed with the raise order. So however long that takes, if it's 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months, we're going down that path. And you know that. So that's how much time you have.
I think it'd be easier, I think it'd be faster and easier to give me time to do it.
Well, we've already given you time.
We've talked about this since May of this year,
Okay.
let alone the years before.
And why are you telling me what to do with my property? It's my property.
Because it looks like,
And you know what? I bet you I could find something at your house that looks like shit.
go ahead and
I'm
look.
sure I could.
it's not your, you don't live there,
It's my house.
but you don't live
Doesn't
there.
matter, I own it.
Would you live there?
No.
Of course you wouldn't.
Okay, I'm sure I could find things wrong with your houses too. I'm just asking to be able to have time to get it done. I have time this fall to do it.
Conversation's over.
All right.
There was a motion by Steve,
it. Great.
Second
Okay.
by
You guys are wonderful.
Duplay to continue down the path of issuing the raise order, correct?
Yes.
Correct. Now, in addition to that, going back to what Kim read to us with the email from Mike, is that who it was?
Mm-hmm.
Can we tell Mike we want him out to the house no later than August 16th? I mean, GC works for us. We don't work for them.
I agree.
That gives him basically almost 10 days
Yeah.
to get there.
It does.
And it's something that's going to be inconvenient for him. I'm fearing That's why it's taken so long for him to get out here.
I think that he's just very busy because.
Yeah, everybody's very busy. That's part of the problem. Otherwise, I could have had it raised already. I've talked to people about it. Everybody's very busy.
He's the guy that does this for everybody General works for, so we're not the only ones in this situation, apparently.
This is the most busy time for anybody in construction.
There was a motion in a second. Discussion. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. So if he goes on the 16th, I'll have an update on the 21st.
So he's going on the 16th to do what?
No, by the 16th.
To do what?
He's got to contact him.
Contact you and get inside to.
I'm not gonna let him in the house.
Then you're gonna go to court and you're gonna screw yourself.
Why?
Why wouldn't you?
He can go on the property and walk around the inside of the house and look in the windows as the building inspector slash.
And he has hired a realtor who's evidently bringing people in.
So there's
So he can
people
go
have
through
gone
the-
into the house.
He's showing other people, he can
Why,
show. our-
why do I have to give the building inspector permission to go in the house?
What's gonna happen sooner or later? Because
Well, I
it's gonna
know.
go to court.
Okay, well,
If you want to spend your money on that,
no, I
I
don't.
mean, this could
Then
maybe
let
work out
him in.
good for you, because it's gonna take some
Let
time.
him in.
Why would I let him in when you guys are trying to screw me?
Jeez.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I mean, you're not.
You're not doing anything
I
to help
am,
yourself.
I am.
Did you do anything since May other
Yeah.
than mow the,
There's
Hold
a
on
sign
one.
out there, we're selling the house. Let me sell the house.
and that went up yesterday?
No, it went up Thursday, and we've had over 11 showings in the last week.
When Kim, was he notified to be here? To come to the
Mike?
meeting tonight?
Yeah.
When was he sent?
I was already planning on it. I talked to Chris about this.
I
Okay,
tried to.
so I'm
call-
just wondering if it's conveniently, the sign went up.
No, it
He was
isn't.
going to be
No,
coming here to the meeting tonight
No.
to be able to say
no,
that.
no, we talked to Chris. We talked to Chris in August. We told him we had a buyer,
July.
or July. Okay, we told him we had a buyer that was willing, had a, offer.
Needed 15 days to look at it.
Yeah, and that one fell through. I told, and at that point, I couldn't put a sign up. So as soon as that fell through, Janelle, we had to do a condition report. And so Janelle put it up. Has nothing to do with that. That was the plan, is if that fell through, we're gonna put the sign up. I talked to Chris about coming to the meeting at that time and talking about the next step. That's what you
In
said.
July.
You said we
When I
talked.
gave you the 15 days,
You said we come to the meeting on the 7th and talk about the next step, where we're at.
and the next step for us is we're going down the path for a raise order.
Okay.
If you sell it before that, then we'll deal with whoever the new buyer is.
So what is my options to raise it?
Take it down before we do.
What are my options to not raise it and refurbish it?
I think you just told me we're going to sell it to get that done because you can't afford to refurbish it.
No, I didn't say I couldn't afford it. I said I'm busy and I still need to, I can get money for it at some point.
What is some point?
Well, I'm busy during the summer.
No. I'm tired of hearing about this busy in the summertime, okay?
You got a realtor, right? Who's handling this for you?
Okay,
Well, hopefully they'll sell it.
okay. If it doesn't sell, do I still have an option to?
Well, you got 11 buyers.
Well, I'm hoping it sells.
Well, I hope it does too.
Okay, if it doesn't sell, option 2 or 3, refurbish it or raise it. Do I have an option to refurbish it?
Depends on what determination the building inspector makes when he inspects it.
Okay.
So it's up to you to let the building inspector in the house as soon as possible.
Maybe
It
he'll
is
say
to
you can
your
refurbish it.
advantage to do that.
How?
It is to your advantage.
Especially if you think it's refurbishable, then he should see that.
I didn't say I thought it was refurbishable. I said there's people, no, I didn't say that. I said there's people that said it could be. Once again,
Anything could be, anything.
yeah, enough. Enough of you, Mike. Enough of you, Mike. This is crap. This is garbage.
Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, move on.
Did we vote,
You
Kim?
did vote, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Consideration of additional signage and or reducing the speed limit on Seagull Cow Road.
Congratulations.
You have the emails from Brian.
Hey, Dan. Thanks for nothing. You guys suck.
Just like you.
Run for town board.
You shouldn't. Sorry, it'll come back to you.
Unbelievable.
So Seagull Cow Road.
Yeah.
More traffic on it now because AB is
Is it just
closed.
because AB?
Just because they, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is it bad
The
down
only
there?
reason the mailbox got hit is because the chip seal gravel was on the road. That's the only reason the person went off the road. Now that's been all cleaned up. I don't think there's any issues out there myself. I don't.
So what's the speed limit out there,
Hello,
55 or
hello,
55?
I'm on,
It's been
I'm
55
on the
forever.
phone.
That's what I thought.
I'm on the phone. I'd like to speak.
Okay, here, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Janie Reby, and I live at the top of the hill on Seagull Cow Road. And I've lived there 30 years. And I understand that this is because of AB being shut down. But we're concerned about the current situation. The amount of traffic and the amount of speed, and then having this excess pea gravel on the side of the road. On July 30th, our mailbox got taken out. And the day that we worked to put up a new mailbox. It was obvious to us that that wasn't the first person that had slid off the road due to the speed on the curve. It's a 90-degree curve, and the pea gravel that was excessively on the edge. People were sliding around. So yeah, I think it's related to AB, but you know, there's a lot of traffic out there because of all the development in Seagull Cow, the other side of AB. We've got construction going on Seagull Cow, and we have a lot of utility people that are parking on the sides of Seagull Cow. So, you know, it's a narrow road to begin with, and now we have work trucks and utility trucks, and that's typically down there at the second or the third. No, how many 90-degree angles are there? 1, 2, 4 of them. So that's why I'm speaking tonight, is because I'm concerned. With all the new development, we got a lot of bikers, we got a lot of walkers out here, and the speeds at which people are driving. And who knows? I mean, some of these people, if they find that this is a shortcut for them, they may continue to use Seagull Cow rather than AB when AB is open again. What is the speed limit? What is the speed limit?
55.
55
on Seagull Cow?
Always has been.
until you cross AB going west, then it drops down to 45. Are
Well,
you in
what's
the
the
house
speed
closest to Nelson Bus?
Yes. No,
Okay.
I'm up right up the hill when you come off of AB.
Big hill.
The first 90-degree angle.
The first one.
Yep. So you go up the big hill,
Yeah.
one of those 4 houses there,
Off to the left.
it's on the south side of the road.
2-story?
There's 4 houses there, 2 ranches, 2 stories.
On the south side of AB.
There's actually 5 properties, but the ones that's way back, that apple orchard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the one right on the curve.
She's right on the curve, yeah.
So that's, the speed limit is 55 miles per hour on that part of Sigel Cow?
Yes, it is.
Always has
Well,
been.
how would anyone know that? I mean, there's no signs.
That's what state law says. Any road that is
I
not
thought-
marked is 55 miles an hour in the state of Wisconsin.
Is she still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You understand that? Any road that it doesn't have a posted speed limit is 55.
There's 490-degree angle curves on this portion of Sigel Cow Road.
I know.
It's a very narrow road. Now they got pea gravel on it that is accumulating on the curves. I just can't believe it. 55 miles an hour under those conditions?
Yes,
It's not safe.
We haven't had hardly any
I
accidents ever
don't
there.
think we've had an accident.
Never been a reported accident, no.
So you do have some recommendations from the
County.
deputies and from the county.
Yeah.
So the night arrows they're talking about on there, they're brand new. So we're in a 10-year cycle with our signs.
Yeah.
All of our signs are replaced every 10 years,
Right.
right? So when it gets put up 10 years from that date, it gets replaced again with a new one.
Reflectivity.
Yep. There's not a sign in the town of Kaiser Grove that's older than 10 years old. So they don't need to be updated. And there is, the curve that she lives on is actually marked. That one is actually marked.
Is what?
It's been hit. The sign has been hit too.
It has.
Today? Was that today?
What? I hope not.
Oh, because, okay.
Has been in the past.
Oh, yeah. probably.
We've had people out here that are impaired, you know, due to alcohol, and we've had telephone poles hit, and we've had people
Yeah,
come straight up into our forest, and we've had people hit that sign, and now we had somebody slide into our mailbox. So there have been incidents out there. Yes, there have.
I guess I wouldn't, not to minimize your concern, but impaired drivers cause problems regardless of what the speed limit is. And
Is there nothing that can be done just because this is a temporary situation until AB opens up again?
I don't want to put up a bunch of signage and then there's no cars driving on it again. You know what I mean? Then you get the same 40 cars every day. Because then, it's just, I don't know, more signage that people don't look at.
What did you get a cost, what it would take to?
So, yeah, one curve sign is around $40. The cautionary speed sign's around 20. So and then 6 posts. So if we did everything and put up for the other 3 corners that don't have anything, be $464.28. And I looked in the budget, I do have $645 left in the sign budget. So we could put them up. We have money there to do it.
We also have an agenda item next, because we put the battery for that speed zone in your sign budget, and the board's gonna talk about whether to use ARPA funds to replenish that. So
Oh,
they
they
could
did?
use ARPA to replenish these signs as well.
Oh, okay.
So
I used the 464 for signs.
Are you saying the sign that would say caution corner? or
It'll
what?
be an arrow, right? It'll be a 90-degree arrow.
Yeah,
And then below it'll be a 15 mile an hour.
Suggested speed
yeah,
limit.
suggested speed limit.
Yep, cautionary, yep.
Yeah.
Because it's a curve, it's not a curve, it's a
They
turn.
do, they help.
It's a 90-degree turn, so
Yeah.
it's gotta be marked at 15. The curve is 25 and a veer or whatever is 35, so.
Yeah.
It maybe gives people an idea of how severe the curve is coming up.
Well, we did that on Femrite, and it hasn't seemed to help at all, so.
But, well, that's different people driving that too, I guess.
Well, that's the same cars. So they're going down Femrite and they're crossing. I got video on my phone if you guys ever want to see what that intersection looks like right now in the afternoon. It's
Or cars.
there's 60 cars lined up on Femrite. Half of them are coming across the signal cow, the other half are turning on 12 and 18
12 and 18, yeah.
because of AB being closed.
Well, what would you like to do? Spend 464 on
Sure.
signs?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Fonger, second by Williams to spend $464 out of the sign budget for signs for all 4 curbs.
Is that like a firm number or do you want to?
Yeah, that's firm.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
Make it 475, just to,
yeah, I got the post. I called Chase, got price on posts, so $20 and
475.
20 cents a post.
475.
475
475.
total cost. Any other discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Then we have consideration of using ARPA funds to pay for the second battery for the speed board and additional signage for Siegel Road if any from C above. Well, we took care of C above, but the
So do you want to?
634.
You want to use, I mean, you could pay for the speed board battery and those 464. You can use ARPA for both of those, in other words.
No, I think you use the sign for the 464.
Do you think you need more signs this year?
Not unless something gets hit. I mean,
Okay.
we've done all of our sign work already, so.
Okay, because the battery is in there too, that what you have left, what you saw Thursday. When
Got to take it out of there?
That's already, the battery was already out.
Oh, already out of it?
Yeah.
Oh, so there's more money in there than that?
So, no, that is what's in there, but the battery is already part of what the expenses show.
Yeah.
The bill for the battery was already.
Already taken out of the sign budget.
Yes.
So this is what was the budget, that's the balance after this batteries are taken out.
Yes,
So there's plenty to cover everything.
yeah. So maybe you don't need to do
I don't even know
anything.
if you need ARPA funds in.
Leave the batteries in the sign and we're okay.
Yeah.
That all right?
With me.
I would say so.
Okay. Consideration of date for the first town board meeting in September. Do we want to meet on the 4th? Do you want, I mean, at this point, do we have anything for plan
Yeah,
for August? So we would have, that would be that Tuesday,
The 5th.
the 5th would be, unless you want to meet on Monday, the 4th, which I wouldn't think you would want to.
I'd rather
Probably
meet
am
the
not going to
5th.
be in town.
Oh,
To do the 5th.
5th would work.
Sure.
Anything works for me.
We don't need a motion, we just,
usually we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we have our first September meeting, September 5th.
Motion by Williams,
Second.
second by DePlay for the first meeting in September to be September 5th. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Public Works, road right-of-way permits issued.
Had two since our last meeting, both to Allied Energy. Both gas services to home hookups. One's at 4274 Vilas Road, and the other one's at 3897 Vilas Hope Road. So, and then
I have not really issued those yet because of the deposit.
you're still working on
We
the,
talked about, Dan mentioned getting just like a $500 deposit for these run-of-the-mill permits, and I offered them the option of putting $500 on deposit with us and then not having to come up with a cash or cashier's check for every one of those type of them, that we would just keep it and apply it to the next one if they aren't gonna, they don't need to use it. And so he's now trying to figure out how they're gonna pass that along to the customer. Or, so they have not paid the deposit yet, so I still am sitting with those
yeah.
not issued yet.
Yeah, 'cause-
Okay, so what do you mean passing it along to the customer?
Well, I mean, the Liant is gonna get paid, get the customer to pay the deposit somehow or whatever. I don't
Whenever
know.
they put your stuff in, they get you to pay their permit fees and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what he said. So anyway, they haven't paid the deposit yet. That's the bottom line from our end.
Because they haven't contacted me at all yet. One of them's mine.
Yeah, one of them is, yeah.
$1,000 on that one.
Yeah, can we get 1,500?
And the electric up to my house and never charged
But
for.
Alliant Energy, they do so many,
Underground.
the exact same thing, like the gas hookup. I mean, we probably get 15 a year from them, so
Yeah,
if they just put one deposit in and we hang on to it and you know it's there.
yeah, otherwise. they're
And then
gonna
they
be-
get that back when they properly,
Probably end of the calendar year, right? Like if
Well, I
everything
mean,
marks off okay.
Or we'll just hold it, that, I mean.
no, but I'm just saying is, if you're talking about using one deposit, okay, say it's,
And
it's
and if
okay.
we don't have to use the money for restoration.
Restoration.
And if we end up
And then
having to
they-
use
they-
it,
And then they pass it on to the one on Violet Oak.
Yep.
And then after, if there's anything there, that $500 would go down.
yeah,
Okay.
just seems like they always have a work order open, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So why would they charge me for it?
I don't know.
They always charge all those contractors charge their permit fees back. They just hide it in your charges.
Yeah.
They just want the money.
I don't know, but the bottom line is they have not paid the deposit yet, so I haven't issued the permits yet.
That's why.
It'll go out into our gas bill. That's how they hide the permit fees. They'll have some kind of hookup charge or something probably, I'm sure. But if we do a deposit on hold, they should just do a small portion over everybody, I would think, but I don't know how they'll do it.
Well, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else?
I've been, since vacation, I've been mowing ditches nonstop, so
Do they still have blacktopping to do?
they got a second coat on the parking lot and then they got the chip seal to do here. And then they're all done.
We know when that's gonna happen
Hopefully Wednesday for the
this week?
blacktopping. And then
Okay.
Farner said they'll come in whenever they're done. They don't want to do it
We'll
before.
do it Friday when we're closed.
That's what I want to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Do
told,
it on a Friday.
that's what I told their sales guy, because I told, everybody's gone here on Fridays, so.
Not gonna be any traffic, us or.
Well, the cars are coming in and out, but we can block it off.
So we can't drive 55 on the.
No.
parking lot.
We will be able to when it's done.
Especially next door by you.
Other than that, I mean, nothing else. We've been mowing. Now that it rained.
Clerk treasurer. Board reports and communication. I heard that, if you've seen down at the substation to the north of us here, all the stakes out, they're
Yeah.
looking at expanding that. And possibly the one north of Gaston. I haven't been up by that one to see, but
Should they have structure sitting up there already?
did I?
Like they put stuff in the fenced area?
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of, I don't know.
Well, they thought they were going to do construction on both of them because they haven't found a place in the village to correct their donut. They have,
What's a donut?
I don't know.
I mean, no, I'm not talking about the nice chocolatey
the little
round
piece of
thing with
bakery
all.
with-
That's what the
They just.
village
put it
was
in.
referring to, is that they wanted something in the village, the substation, to fill in that hole.
Oh, I see.
And why these two don't
Communicate?
at all, I don't know. It's probably has something to do with the big construction that'll go up north for,
Yeah.
They got a lot of land in Gaston, you know, where that substation is.
What's that?
yeah,
That, I mean, they have
yeah.
good
It's a
acreage.
huge, that's a long driveway and
Yeah,
everything else.
They could build that all the way out if they need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All off of Gaston.
Mm.
I have something to share. At our MPO meeting last Wednesday, the Glacial Drumlin Bike Trail got federal funding for moving forward. And this was a big deal because the metric for the evaluation of all of them, and they had 6 bike routes that they were considering. is population driven, where put your money where the most people will benefit. And so by that metric, Glacial Drumlin has been way down. But there were lots of letters of support for it from bike groups as far away as Shorewood in the Milwaukee area. And individuals, as important as Tom Lynch from the city of Madison, said it's time to move forward. And they've needed money, to make this
Do
happen.
they have the right-of-way acquisition from the railroad? Or does it,
I thought that
will
was
the
all
money
done.
from this,
It's working
Oh.
together. It's going to be
Oh.
working together on that. So, but the significant thing is that it moved to the top and got funded. So
I heard
Can I
that.
tell
imagine
you,
how much less bike traffic is gonna be on Vilas then, if they can come straight out the bike trail from Madison?
Would be nice.
Mhm.
What's that?
That would be nice.
Oh, yeah.
Cut down on that.
so we'll see.
I met with Coparts last week and sounds like they're willing to put either 6 to 8 foot arborvitae along the fence where the berm was taken away by the
Yep.
AB construction. How soon they'll get it done, I'm not sure, but he was very receptive to planting arborvitae to hide the fence.
Mhm.
Nice.
So then we had an email from the Kennedy Hills with the playground equipment that they're very happy with, but they're wondering if the board would be willing to help them. They spent $1,138 on 9 tons of concrete and $740 on renting a aerial lift to put the canopy on. They're just wondering if the town would consider reimbursement for anything in that or not. And I don't know what we have currently left in the parks budget for this year.
Yeah, I haven't bought trees or anything yet,
That's what they do, build a bomb shelter,
so there should be quite a bit of money in there yet.
a lot of concrete.
That's a lot of concrete.
I mean, a lot of
And I
concrete.
mean,
Yeah.
why didn't,
Why?
I mean, when we did, when we
18,000
did,
pounds?
Putting post holes in is all that should have been done.
I'm guessing they drilled too big of holes.
Wow.
yeah, but when we did that playground
Instead of like this, they drilled.
over at Cedar Knolls, when we put that playground in,
1,000 pounds.
so we never rented any, we had all the equipment taken care of.
No, Sunbelt,
Well,
you had to get a lift from Sunbelt. I don't know who paid for that, on that one.
I thought it was donated.
Well, maybe it was. Maybe somebody knew somebody.
Yeah,
In our-
Dave drove it all the way over there from Sunbelt.
yeah, I mean, but
in our neighborhood, one of the neighbors knew people, and so they got it done, and we did fundraising for covering the costs.
Interesting question.
well,
According to the internet, according to the wizard, 18,000 pounds of concrete is almost 6 yards.
whoa,
It's a lot of concrete.
Yeah,
wow,
big time.
that's a ton of concrete.
No, it's not.
Several tons.
It's 18 tons.
Several tons, several tons.
So we poured a new pad, that pad in front of the salt
Yeah.
shed, that was 6 yards.
Oh,
I could see
wow.
that, but I'm just trying to,
Yeah. Wow.
That's 8 inches deep.
Wow,
So
that's 6 yards.
Well, they should probably come in and talk to us about that next meeting.
You have about $5,500 left in the parks budget.
How many?
This is the end of
55?
June, and I don't think we've spent anything since then.
I haven't bought trees or anything yet, but I can hold off on that this year too.
You also had
So
another
you want it on the
20,000.
next
Yeah, I
agenda
would say so.
Yeah,
for action?
You also had another 20,000 that you were gonna use in ARPA funds yet this year for parks equipment. I don't know if that would qualify or not, but
The problem is they shouldn't be doing this before they come to us and say, hey, we need
Yeah, exactly.
all this so we can look at it,
20.
you know, or,
We're
yeah,
gonna spend that on.
yeah, or somebody go out and
Look at the
it.
total cost
Yeah,
of
we can't
anything.
do that.
Yeah.
Should
We have to the
stuff.
fact.
I don't know, they'd have to.
Well, that concrete.
So,
We were gonna get those frisbee disc.
That
baskets.
that playground isn't gonna be moving
No.
anytime in.
Should
Um,
Cambridge.
Received a notice from the village that on the 9th at 6:30 at Shady Grove, they're looking to take lot 1 and lots 58 through 62 and move them from rural holdings to two-family residential.
Oh, I knew they were gonna do that.
Duplex.
I knew they were gonna do that.
It was gonna happen. I heard about it.
I knew they were gonna do that.
That's
Right
all,
here, this area.
When they gonna start the condos across the street from there?
that's all that I had. We don't have anything for item 7. We don't need to go into closed session.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Well, let me just say something before we go.
Sorry.
But we do have a meeting tomorrow night for emergency government, and we're gonna talk about what was in the, part of it, what was in the town's magazine. Talked about emergency government and everything.
Yes,
So we'll go through that tomorrow night and then,
6:30.
yeah, move on a little bit, and we'll talk about some more. Gonna be a briefing on the equipment, the radios and stuff. So just a few things we're gonna do.
Do you have radios or are you going to need radios?
No,
We're going to
we're looking,
Look at-
well, I don't know, we'll have to see tomorrow.
look at using the radios.
But
This is
the,
just, okay.
I don't know if any of you saw ATV and the county approved them being on county roads. By approval, you can get a permit, the towns can get a permit to use county roads, or an organization can, to run UTVs and ATVs on county roads.
Yes, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah. It was sort of a little article,
St. Germain area is already open, I think.
but they, no, here,
But that's
Dane County approved this.
super touristy up there.
Dane County approved
Yeah,
this.
but you have to get a permit to do it. I don't know how that works exactly, but,
More way, yeah.
well, whatever, it's about like $500.
So it's just on a one-time basis or
There was not much more to the article, other than the fact that it's happening, so.
where
it
did
was
you find
approved.
this?
So after County AB opens, you can have an ATV in there
You could have.
Oh, sure,
and BB?
Sure.
sure.
And
Why not?
No, but I said you gotta get approval by your element. It could be a club, it could be anybody that we would approve
Minocqua,
to
they
do
were
it.
going right down the main drag when we were up there. Minocqua and St. Germain,
Yeah.
well,
Oh, yeah.
right on the highway, right on 73 and all those up there.
Yeah,
They're
but
just
that's,
cruising.
that's just tourist
Well-
traffic.
yeah.
I mean, I understand it, but it's,
Engine revenue.
Wisconsin Rapids, same thing.
Mike, where did you read that?
I read it in the paper.
The journal,
Yeah.
state journal?
Yeah, that
really,
was a couple weeks ago.
I didn't see that one.
Either.
I don't know, have any of you guys seen the gentleman that lives on Ridge Road? His UTV he goes over to his hops farm and back,
Oh, here.
and that thing looks like a truck.
I think you can use them on, if it's for agricultural purposes.
Yeah,
On your property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I
Farm.
mean, the thing's as big as a truck. It's as big as my truck that's parked next door. That thing is, it's,
You can use ATVs, UTVs to travel farm to farm.
Mhm.
There's a special DNR permit for that.
yeah, they're just not supposed to drive on end.
So there was a motion by Duplain
Yes.
Second.
to adjourn, second by Williams. All in favor?
I.
Aye.
By saying aye. Motion carried.
Forgot.